Hey, what is going on, guys? Alex here, and I'm back for another video. So I know I've been gone a bit now. I've got a lot more time on my hands, and the reason why I haven't uploaded is because I've been trying as hard as I can to get this deck ready for you. I've been wanting to make this deck profile for KOZMOs for absolutely ages now, and I finally got my KOZMOs back again, and I can finally make this deck profile because this deck profile I've been hyped up for so long, and I finally got it. And I just want to mention quickly, the reason why I've put KOZMOs on here as a budget deck, although the deck can cost about 60 to 70 pounds, it is a lot of money, but in link format, this deck is still going to be good because it doesn't necessarily rely on extra deck. Sure, in this variant, I will be showing you a lot of extra deck monsters, but in my opinion, in the current format we are in, this is the best way you can play KOZMOs. So without further ado, let's go straight into the video and straight into the deck profile. So again, this is basically, in my opinion, a Star Wars deck, so I'm going to play it like that. So firstly, you want to play 3 KOZMO R2D2 or Tin Can. This card is extremely important. You want to see it in your hand as much as possible. It is a level 1 and as well, so you want to be able to see this so you can float. What's going to happen is you're going to summon this, hopefully on your first turn maybe, or if you get an E-Telly in your hand and you manage to summon a Tin Can, what will happen on your end phase is you're able to, search up a ship like a Slip Rider, a Forerunner, Dart Destroyer, and all that sort of stuff. And you're going to be able to, instead of destroying the Tin Can, banishing the Tin Can, and be able to special summon the Dart Destroyer as well. Because in the chain, you're going to activate Tin Can's effect first, rather than the E-Telly effect first, in order to destroy the card. So it doesn't really matter. Playing 3 Tin Can is extremely important, and you want to see this in your hand as much as possible. Next up, you want to be playing 2 KOZMO Princess Leia, also known as Farm Girl. This card is extremely important. Basically, the reason why you don't play this at 3 is because in order to do extremely well with this card, you have to be able to attack and deal damage. But if you can't deal damage, then like you can't really do anything, because like the whole prospect before Tin Can came out was don't let Farm Girl attack, don't let Farm Girl do damage. But now the deck doesn't always rely on Farm Girl. Sure, if you attack it with her, you're going to do a fuck ton of damage and be able to, go further into the game. But it's just not really that much to play. Like 2 is perfectly fine, and she's going to help you go into stuff like Leviair as well. So a really, really good card. Next, you want to be playing 2 KOZMO Stormtroopers or Sword Troopers. This card is extremely important because a lot of the time you're going to be using your Psychic KOZMOs quite a lot, like your Dark Lady, etc. And they will be placed in your graveyard a lot of the time. And what Sword Troopers will do, you just pay 1,000, special summon them back. No need to play them at 3. And again, similar to Farm Girl, he's going to help you go into like Leviair a bit, so you can just get a bit more recycling flow, recycle other cards if you don't have your KOZMO Town about. So you want to be playing this card at 2, no more. 1 Wicked Witch. I don't know what to say about what Jedi could Wicked Witch be. Put that in the comment section below. KOZMO Wicked Witch is really strong. Only player at 1, because like if you're in a really sticky situation and you need to float, what you'll be able to do is like you'll just special summon the Wicked Witch and pay the 1,000 life points so that it can't be destroyed by a card effect or by battle. It's just really effective card. Only play 1 because you don't really want to normal summon her. It's like kind of a last resort if you gotta summon her. 1 KOZMO C3PO. This card is extremely really good, or Strawman, because like what you're going to be able to do is like you're going to have tons of banished KOZMO monsters. So what you're going to be able to do is just like have Strawman on the field, and pay 500, and get say another ship on the field. Sure, its effect will be negated, but if you have KOZMO Joe face down, you can activate the KOZMO Joe, destroy the card, but the destroy effect is not negated. It's only the field effect. Destroy the card with KOZMO Joe and like another card on your opponent's side of the field. Banish another card on your opponent's side of the field and then allow it to float, and therefore will not be destroyed in the end phase, and just speeds up the deck. Only play 1 because I'm not playing Fire King. And then round off just 1 Maxi, and then we'll go into the ships after. I just play 1 Maxi because, it's Maxi, no reason. Going on to the ships, Standard, you want to be playing one Dark Destroyer because the card is limited. Limited for good reasons. This card is absolutely brilliant. It's broken. But like you're just really gonna do well. Like if you open this card when your opponent's got like a card that can be targeted and destroyed, you know, you can really put in a lot of work if this card is on the field. And bear in mind, these Cosmos can't be targeted. Like these powerful ships cannot be targeted. So Dark Destroyer can't be targeted, and it's just really good. Next ship you want to be playing is one Dark Eclipser. I've been thinking about bumping this up to 2. Because I really like opening this card because it's level 9 and it can float down into the other ships that I'm running. I just like this card like in general. I might bump it up to 2 because I am playing Allure as well, and it just really helps. So you know, it's just a very good what's it called? Very good Cosmo, because basically if you've got Cosmo cards in your graveyard, what you can do is just banish them and then negates trap cards that your opponent activates. The benefit of that is because you don't want your Cosmos to be in the graveyard. If they're banished, they can be recycled using Cosmo Town. So Cosmo Dark Eclipser at 2 I think would be better, but like so far I've been fine with just playing 1. I might bump it up. But yeah, Cosmo Dark Eclipser is so good for a ship, and again, can't be targeted. One Forerunner. Again, similar to Eclipser, I was thinking of bumping up to 2, but it's either I bump up Eclipser or Forerunner. They're both extremely busted because all 3 of these are extremely busted. Searchable through like how they float and everything. Because like if Dark Eclipser gets destroyed, then you can search Dark Destroyer, and then if Dark Destroyer is destroyed, then you can go into Forerunner. This camera doesn't want to. Yeah, so you could just like constantly float these cards. So effective. So I'm just playing these 3 untargetable ships. I'm thinking of changing it a little bit, but so far I'm having no problems. I'm not playing any of like the other untargetable ships because they are pretty shit. We are playing 3 Slip Rider. Very important you play these 3 at these cards at 3, Slip Rider and 3 Dark Lady. People play 2 Dark Lady and 3 Slip Rider, but for this variant you must play 3 of each, and this is a very weird reason why, and I'll go into it after I go over like all the spells and traps and we go into the extra deck, because the extra deck is extremely interesting. And these cards must be played at 3. Slip Rider is extremely strong because what it does is it's just going to be able, we're going to be able just to destroy all these spells and trap cards. And Dark Lady is just pay 1,000, negate an activation of a monster, and it's non-targeted. Like that is really good. Like sure, the card can be targeted, but it floats. It's a level 5 monster as well, so you can go from like Farm Girl or Tin Can into these to Dark Lady, and then Dark Lady will float into something like an Eclipser. Eclipser can float into Dark Destroyer, and so on and so forth. It just like it's a complete recycle and is really busted altogether. So I find 3 of each really important. That is it for the monsters. We're going to go straight into the spells. Be playing triple Cosmo Town. Cosmo Town is extremely important. You want to see this in your hand as much as possible. So I played 2 Terraforming on side. What this card just does for Cosmo Town is, you know, it's just recycling Cosmo monsters back into your hand. And you're paying a bit of life points for it, but that's why we're playing the Forerunner as well, because Forerunner, every standby phase, we get 1,000 life points back from that. So really effective. The thing with Cosmo Town is what we want to be able to do is recycle cards like Dark Destroyer, Tin Can, and all these sorts of cards. We really want to be recycling. We want to be really recycling these cards. And what sometimes the problem that I find when I'm playing Cosmos is I will have something like a Forerunner on my first turn. I'll have a Forerunner and a Dark Lady in my hand and a Cosmo Town. And like, okay, so these are the only monsters that I've got in my hand. So what the fuck can I do? I can't summon anything. So we can activate Cosmo Town effect, send these back to the deck, and then draw 2 cards out of it. Really effective cards. I really like this card, and the fact is that if you destroy it, you can either search, and if it gets destroyed, you can either search a Cosmo card or another Cosmo Town. So it's like no excuse for not having this card. You really want to see this card in your hand as much as possible. So 3 Cosmo Town and 2 Terraforming, really standard. Just a bit of draw power. Allure of Darkness, 3. We're playing a good amount of dark monsters. We're playing, Dark Lady, Stormtroopers, all these cards, Wicked Witch and all the ships, loads of dark monsters. So playing 3 allure just to get as much draw power as possible. And if you banish the dark monsters, you can just recycle it with KOZMO Town. So, it all benefits everything. So 3 allure, very, very powerful card. If you have Card of Demise or even Desires, I'd highly recommend playing those as well. But actually, I wouldn't say Desires. I'd say Card of Demise is extremely good. 1-for-1 because, it's 1-for-1. We want to be able to see Tin Can on the field. This card is really broken. Effective card. 1 E-Tally because the card is put to 1. If this card was at 2 or whatever, then play 2 of these. Again, we want to be seeing cards like Tin Can on the field, even Saw Troopers or something, just so we can recycle from the graveyard. This card is extremely powerful. Sorry, the lighting's a bit weird in this video. E-Tally is extremely powerful card. And this is where it's getting weird now. Double instant fusion for this deck. I don't know if anyone has predicted what card we are using in the extra deck. And no, it's not Norden. Double instant fusion is very important in this deck because this variant is very extra deck reliant as well and really, really strong. For this format, I think this 2 instant fusion in this is really, really good. And to round off our spells, standard, just double Twin Twisters, kind of standard. If you don't want to be sending cards to your graveyard, MST is by far no problem, or even Cosmic Cyclone and stuff like that. That's totally preference. Trap cards, standard. Triple Call of the Haunted. There's going to be a lot of cards in our graveyard, sadly, and we're going to be wanting to get them back. I don't like a waste of Dragon Souls because we want to be able to near like OTK and we don't want our ships in defense mode. That's fucking stupid. So Triple Call of the Haunted is absolutely perfect. I like this card at 3. You always want to just be able to see your monsters in your graveyard come out of your graveyard as much as possible. Triple KOZMO. People like to play this at 2. I like to play triple because I find in this format, in 3, I find this better at 3 for the main reason that this format, there's a lot of decks that are very reliant on the graveyard. Like we've got True Draco, Zodiac, all this, right? They are very weak to banished cards. And if you use KOZMO, basically your target you're a non-target card that banishes your opponent's monster, either from graveyard or from the field or for the graveyard. So if you're playing against something like Zodiac, you can just banish the Rap here, and then all of a sudden their combo is completely useless. This card is extremely strong and just allows us to allows our ships to flow as well. So triple KOZMO is, I believe, the best way to go. 2 is okay, but 3 is way better. And round it all off, 1 Solemn Warning. I don't like Solemn Strike in this because we've got Dark Lady just to negate shit all the time. So, Warning is by far just okay. And we don't want to be paying too many life points anyway. So there's no point in playing Triple Strike or, something like that. It's just totally fine playing this. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I want to point out, firstly, the cards that I do not own that I would highly recommend you chuck in. Cyber Dragon Infinity is of course, Cyber Dragon Nova and Cyber Dragon Infinity is a standard. You'd really, really want to play these cards. At the moment, I do not own them. I have them coming on the way soon, but I don't own them at the moment, but I'll chuck them in. Panzer Dragon as well, level 5, light fusion monster that is an instant fusion target. Allows you to go into the a Cyber Dragon Infinity faster, and Volcasaurus because it's a good rank 5. So very standard. But this is where it gets extremely interesting. Firstly, I'm just going to go over my 1XYZ, Levier the Sea Dragon. Very, very effective monster that you want to if you need to recycle Tin Can, Straw Man, all this, Levier really does a good job for that. And 1 is just perfect. You're not always going to open this card or see this card a lot, but if you do, it will put in a lot of work. Now, this is why we're playing Instant Fusion. Sea Monster Theseus. This card in this deck is fucking amazing. I know that, excuse my language, but this card is... I don't even know how I thought this card was My friend thought oh, why don't you chuck in Zolkin in this? You like Zolkin in everything. You used it in Fluffles and all that. For this deck, we're playing 6 level 5 monsters. or 2 level 5 monsters, 3 copies of each. This card is so easy to summon and is just by far bullshit to play against. So we are playing Ultimar Zolkin. I absolutely love this card in this deck because the whole problem that KOZMO had was like you're not really using that much extra deck. It's only main deck, but now we are summoning very strong monsters, very strong main deck monsters, and broken extra deck monsters. 1 Crystal Wing, because Crystal Wing is, in my opinion, the best dragon type that you can use in this deck. 1 Void Ogre. Void Ogre, again, is very strong because we want to be able to negate the spell and trap cards. And like a lot of the time, you can have no cards in your hand, especially like if your monsters are all banished and you have like, say, spell and trap cards in your hand, you can just set them face down and you have Void Ogre and just negate everything. A very effective card to play. 1 Beals, because this card just doesn't die. It just requires your opponent to either banish it or completely negate its effect, which you're not going to see every day. So 1 Beals is very effective. Coral Dragon, again, extremely powerful card because, like, again, it's just discard, destroy, and like if you discard, say, like a Straw Man or a Wicked Witch, send it to a graveyard, and you have like a Saw Troopers in your hand, in your field, you can like discard, say, a psychic type like Tin Can or something, destroy a card on the field, and then use Saw Trooper's effect when it's on the field, pay 1,000 and special summon it to your side of the field. Very effective card. And then last but not least, you know, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon. There's not really many like dragon types that is a point in playing, but these are, in my opinion, the best ones to play. And Theseus actually makes the deck playable. This deck is not going to be like effective in Link summoning. Like when Link format comes out, I will make another KOZMO deck profile again on the best way to play in that format. But so far in this format, in my opinion, this is the best way you can play KOZMOs. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below. Try this deck out on like YUGIOH Pro or something and give me like a heads up on what you think of it and how you found it. And if you do enjoy it, just make sure to put it in the comment section below. Really make my day. Anyway, leave a like on this video, subscribe for some more. I have a 100 subscriber video coming around the corner. Doesn't sound like a lot to you guys, but to me 100 is like a billion. So, you know, it means a lot to me. So thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you guys later. Peace.